Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. If you're tuning in after this live, I just want to let you know that give me about a minute to a minute and a half because I can't do anything until this uploads on YouTube. So I figured I would come out live. And yes, this is my first video of the day, but this is some evidence that proves that XRP does not satisfy to being ruled as security under the Howey test. This is the 8th page document that was officially released. I downloaded the PDF like yesterday. And I think this is going to be something that, especially on page 8, I'm not going to say what it says at the very end, so you're going to have to watch this with me. But I will tell you that it's good news at the end. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. We're going to debunk and go through all this information together. It's an 8-page document, so just give me about 45 seconds at the most to finish putting all this stuff up. And this is going to be a very, very, very fast-paced style, just like we did yesterday. So I do thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure if you're watching, if anybody's watching, make sure you hit that like button, as I'm going to go through the whole spew right now. So as this is my first update of the morning, I decided to do it like this. I'll do a technical analysis after this at some point this morning, probably when I get done at the gym around 11 or 12 o'clock. But I wanted to release this first so everybody could see it. So good morning. 9:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, June 14th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I'm going to bring up what I have. I have the 8-page document that tells us all about the Howey test. So this is document number 831-79. Let me pull this up so you can see me. And I figured the best way to do this was for us to go over it together. Just like yesterday, I went over the stuff. Make sure you hit that like button. And this is what we've been waiting for. Me personally, the stuff yesterday was awesome. But this is what I wanted to see about XRP. Tanya, welcome in, love. Come on in, welcome. John Patak, good morning. Derek, what's going on from the great state of Michigan? Derek, just for you. Roger, welcome in. No problem. So, Exhibit 220. This was filed on June 13th, 2023. It's 8 pages long, really 7, because this exhibit is one of the pages. So and I downloaded this for everybody. So this is April 8, 2019. Howey Analysis XRP. Hope everybody's ready for this. This is spicy, especially on page 8. Let me pull this over here so I'm not in the way. So here we go. I'm very excited about this. I have not read through the whole thing. I've only skimmed through it and then read, obviously, the conclusion. You have asked for an analysis of whether XRP should be treated as security under the federal securities laws. The analysis that follows is based on information that we have been able to obtain from the public record. Before the analysis in this memorandum is heavily fact-dependent to the extent that the information we have relied upon is erroneous, or to the extent additional information exists that we have not considered, but that bears upon the analysis contained herein. The conclusions contained in this memorandum may require modification. Most digital assets currently today do not clearly fall into any of the more common types of instruments within the definition of security. In the Securities Act of 1933, unamended the Securities Act, or as amended the Securities Act, or the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, as amended the Exchange Act, such as notes, stock, or bonds. However, as the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Commission or SEC, concluded in its July 2017 report, the DAO, pursuant to Section 21A of the Exchange Act, analyzing digital assets issued by the DAO in its December 2017 order, instituting cease and desist proceedings against Munchie, Inc. The Munchie order distributions of digital assets may involve illegal security offerings. Following the Commission's guidance in the DAO report and the Munchie order, we analyze whether a digital asset is a security for federal securities law. Make sure you hit that like button if you're watching as well, as that will greatly help push me through the analytics. And I cannot thank each and every one of you for being here unpacking this with me. Attributes of traditional equity or debt securities, such as ownership. Oh, wait a minute. Let's read this again. So a digital asset is a security for federal securities law purposes first by determining whether the digital asset has any of the attributes of traditional equity or debt securities, such as ownership rights, rights to a share of profits, or rights to periodic payments. If the digital asset does not exhibit these types of characteristics, we analyze the digital asset based upon the test. For an investment contract developed in the Supreme Court's decision in SEC versus WJ Howey. Despite differences, the Supreme Court has indicated that the definitions of security under Securities Act and the Exchange Act are treated the same. SEC versus Edwards 540 U.S. 398 2004 citing, Reeves v. Ernest, and Young 494 U.S. 5661 N.1. 1990, report of investigation pursuant to Section 21A of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, the DAO Exchange Act REL number 81207, July 25th, 2017, the DAO report and the Munchie Inc. Securities Act REL number 10445, December 11, 2017, the Munchie order. I don't want to skip anything, so I'm reading it all just so it burns into my brain. So this is page 3 of 8. And this is from April 18th, 2019. So when we get to the end, some of you are going to be very, very pissed off by what it says. I can already tell you that much. The fact that we've had to sit here for this long. So CO4 and its progeny. The Howey test defines an investment contract as a contract or scheme that involves each of the following features. First, there must be an investment of money. The investment must give up some tangible and definable consideration. Second, there must be a common enterprise. Good morning, White Lotus. Welcome in. No problem, Roger. My pleasure. Must be a common enterprise. The investor's fortunes must be interwoven with those of other investors' horizontal commonality and or the efforts of the promoter of the investment vertical commonality. Third, the investor must have a reasonable expectation of profits. The investment must be purchased with the reasonable expectation that the value of the investment will increase or that the investor will receive earnings from the investment. And fourth, the investor's expectation of profits must be based predominantly upon the entrepreneurial or managerial efforts of the promoter or other third parties, as demonstrated by the Commission's Howey analysis in the Munchie order, determining whether a transaction involves a security does not turn on labeling, but instead requires an assessment of the economic realities underlying a transaction. All of the relevant facts and circumstances are considered in making that determination. Using the same analysis, we have considered the features and terms of XRP, the facts and circumstances surrounding its original development and distribution, its current functionality and usage, and the current role, if any. Howdy, JW, good morning. Its original development and distribution, its current functionality and usage, and the current role, if any, of its original promoters, and have concluded that there are reasonable grounds for determining that XRP does not satisfy each prong of the Howey test. And this gets better towards the end, so you can already tell where this is going. And thus, there are reasonable grounds for concluding that XRP should not be considered an investment contract or security within meaning of the Securities Act or the Exchange Act. Now, what year is this from, folks? April 8th, 2019. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here with this lawsuit? XRP should not be considered an investment contract or security within the meaning of Securities Act or the Exchange Act. So what are we talking about here? Although some of the technology and ideas in Ripple Network, a purpose-built network hosting XRP's distributed ledger solutions, including a public transaction ledger, are older than Bitcoin, the Ripple Network was created as a response to Bitcoin with improved payment transfer functionality. XRP's technology allows transfer and exchange of multiple currencies instead of just one, e.g. Bitcoin on the Bitcoin blockchain, and has faster transaction times and reduced electricity usage. XRP's technology is also designed to facilitate enterprise usage, including by banks and other financial intermediaries. The Ripple network allows parties or participants to transmit money on a peer-to-peer basis over the internet without trusted third-party intermediaries. Transactions typically settle in seconds rather than in minutes or hours as the Bitcoin network. And if you guys use the XRP ledger to transfer your tokens, it is blazing fast, literally seconds, and very, very cheap, less than a fraction of a penny. The network supports a digital, and this is all the stuff with the investment contracts. I'll let you read through that just to save some time. But the network supports a digital asset native to the network called XRP, but can also be used to transfer any other currency or asset, such as US dollars. The protocol and software used to access the Ripple network and to participate on the network in various capacities is free and open source. And this is page 4 of 8. The Ripple network is built on the concept of trust lines. Make sure you hit that like button. 48 people watching, 28 likes. We can certainly do better than that. Exactly, Marvin. That's what I'm saying. Let me finish getting into this. Good morning, Conrad. Make sure you hit that like button, though. Show me that same respect I'm showing you by bringing you this information this morning. Over the Ripple network, all over currencies are represented as an amount due from particular. Let's start over. So the protocol and software used to access the Ripple network and to participate on the network in various capacities is free and open source. The Ripple network is built on the concept of trust lines. While XRP can be sent natively over the Ripple network, all other currencies are represented as amounts due from particular counterparties. Participants set up trust lines indicating which institutions they are willing to have credit exposure to. For example, imagine two issuers, a U.S. user and a European user. The U.S. user has a U.S. dollar trust line extended to her U.S. bank, indicating her willingness to have credit exposure to the U.S. bank, as would be the case with an uninsured deposit. After creating that trust line, the U.S. user would follow the U.S. bank's procedure to deposit U.S. dollars and receive a U.S. dollar XRP balance in her account. The European user has a U.S. trust line to Bitstamp, a European digital asset exchange, indicating a willingness to have credit exposure to Bitstamp. If the U.S. user sends U.S. dollars to the European user will receive U.S. dollars that are in the form of an amount due from Bitstamp, assuring that Bitstamp has extended trust to the U.S. bank and XRP was not used as a bridge currency in the transaction. Good morning, Terry. Marvin, this is absolutely huge. That's why I wanted to read this to each and every one of you, because I feel it's important to share this with my community and unpack it together. It's a change in philosophy that I've had over the last several months. So the European user does not need to trust the U.S. user, because I want to get to the better parts, because there is a chain of trusted parties between them. The Ripple network finds the most efficient and cheapest path from sender to recipient. Original versions of the protocol required all participants to have extended trust to each other, except with respect to XRP transactions. But later, versions introduced market makers were willing to take credit risk to multiple parties and also make exchanges between different currencies. These market makers facilitate complex multi-participant hops between sender and receiver. XRP also stands out for its use of gateways, or institutions that allow users to add liquidity to the Ripple network. The prototypical gateway is a bank that allows users to deposit U.S. dollars and then receive a U.S. dollar balance in their XRP wallet, representing an amount due from the bank. Gateways also have procedures to allow non-XRP assets to be removed from the Ripple network. For example, a user that has extended U.S. dollar trust to Bitstamp and receives U.S. dollars in the form of a Bitstamp receivable can follow Bitstamp's procedure to withdraw the U.S. dollars, typically by engaging in a transfer to an account at another financial institution. XRP primarily functions to facilitate transactions on the Ripple network, including non-XRP transactions. A small amount of XRP is needed to open new accounts and dispatch transactions. As an anti-spam measure that acts as a safeguard against the Ripple network being overwhelmed by attack conducted by a participant affecting a very large number of transactions at once, known as a distributed denial of service or DDoS attack. These transaction fees are generally very low, 0.001 cent, but have been sufficient to prevent an attempt to overwhelm the network. XRP also functions as a bridge currency to facilitate, which means it's a commodity. And also, if you have a futures contract, and I'm going to share a video later, if you have a futures contract, it facilitates you as a commodity. And that's what the old commodities chief financial, or the person who used to run the commodities exchange actually said, and I have that video I'll play later. Between lightly traded currency pairs or between parties that do not have intervening institutions between them. Page 5 here. This is long, so we're going to get through this. That are willing to extend credit to one another, despite XRP function being to facilitate transactions on the Ripple network and not necessarily as a currency itself. It is traded on various virtual currency exchanges as its market price fluctuates against US dollars, euro, yen, Bitcoin, and other digital and non-digital assets. Although XRP differs from Bitcoin and many other digital assets in that it is not mined, ownership of XRP, like ownership of Bitcoin, does not involve a common enterprise with profits to come solely from the efforts of others. 1. XRP is not promoted as investment of money. Ripple was founded in 2012 as OpenCoin, which later changed its name to Ripple Labs Inc., a for-profit corporation with its own shareholders and securities that has been financed through several rounds of traditional venture capital funding. And yesterday, in the documents, the 13 pages we unpacked, it said you did not, if you have an ICO, it does not constitute automatically being a security. So that's interesting. Unlike some digital assets, XRP is not generated through a mining process, but instead 100 billion XRP were created at once by Ripple Labs in 2012. Under the Ripple Network protocol, no further XRP can be created. Of those 100 billion XRP, 20 billion were given to the two founders, and the balance went to Ripple Labs. Ripple Labs received its allotment of XRP to fund, among other things. John Party, no problem. If you guys want to support my work, True, thanks for joining in this morning. If you want to join my work or support my work, join Tom's Army. Join Tom's Army. It's a beautiful way to support my work. Or you can always send a donation via the YouTube Super Chat if you want. So, XRP 20 billion, let's see. Among other things, continued development and improvement of the Ripple network. Ripple Labs' stated goals in distributing XRP have been primarily to incentivize more participants to join and use the Ripple network. Ripple Labs has distributed XRP since 2012 in a number of ways. It has given XRP to users for free to encourage adoption of its platform. It has sold XRP at a discount to market makers and financial institutions to incentivize them to participate in Ripple network. That doesn't sound like they're gouging to me. It has given XRP to developers as part of a bug bounty programs. Ripple Labs also provides rebates and other benefits to merchants that accept payment in XRP. Although XRP was given and sold to members of the public, the distribution differed significantly from many so-called initial coin offerings. Sales were not marketed as an investment or profit-making opportunity. Sales were not time-limited in a manner designed to pressure purchasers. Further, many initial users or owners of XRP receive it for free from Ripple Labs as part of Ripple Labs' efforts to encourage use of the Ripple network. As described below, even those participants who purchased XRP directly from Ripple Labs were expected to be purchasing XRP for use, not for investment. From what we have been able to determine, Ripple Labs sale materials have not suggested investing in XRP for its potential value appreciation, this page 6 of 8, nor indicated that XRP reflects the value of Ripple Labs, and Ripple Labs has avoided giving any indication of an approximate or expected price or value of XRP. Further, as far as we have been able to determine, Ripple Labs did not arrange for immediate secondary market trading of XRP outside the Ripple network in a way that would suggest that it was being sold as an investment. As huge as it is, it's still down years of holding. I can't help but expect the worst regard. Yeah, that's the emotion, ladies and gentlemen. Take your emotion out of it. Yes, it's been down for a long time. Yes, it's getting hammered. Yes, it's coming down to that 508 support and maybe further. This is an emotional game, everybody. Pay attention to the documents. Nothing else is relevant at this point. To not have your mind clear about just focusing on these documents is doing us all a disservice. Stop being negative Nancy's in the comments. Stop playing the victim. That's what I'm going to tell the XRP community. Stop playing the victim. We're only victims because we listen to nonsense on YouTube. If we weren't listening to that, we would understand the truth. If you're just watching my station verbatimly, you might be able to have a better grasp of what's going on. 2, an investment in XRP does not rely upon a common enterprise. Like Bitcoin and other distributed ledger technologies, the Ripple network relies upon a consensus process for certain participants in a peer-to-peer network to agree upon a simple ledger and shows account balances. For XRP and other currencies, for all participants similar to other blockchain-based technologies, the Ripple network creates a new block or ledger. While miners of Bitcoin are financially incentivized to compete to find the next block validators, and the Ripple network receive no financial award. A supermajority of validators must agree on transactions and ledgers for them to be approved. Similar to Bitcoin, the free and open source nature of XRP software and protocol prevents there from being a common enterprise. Each holder of XRP acts independently of one another and independently of Ripple Labs with no commitment to engaging in activities to increase the value of XRP. While it appears that many XRP developers and transaction validators are employed by or otherwise contracted by Ripple Labs, and Ripple Labs actively promotes to use the network through outreach and consulting services to financial institutions, the Ripple network would likely continue to function, and XRP would therefore likely continue to have value even if Ripple Labs ceased to have any controlling involvement. The independence of XRP and Ripple Labs is significantly different from tokens at issue and the Munchie order, more or where the value of the tokens was entirely dependent upon the continuing efforts of Munchie to support and grow the enterprise, as Munchie had central and exclusive control over the Munchie app, its development and expansion. 44 people in here. Congratulations. Thank you for taking the time this morning to unpack this with me. 39 likes. I greatly appreciate that. Make sure you hit the like button if you're watching. XRP is designed to have consumptive uses, not to generate profits. Like Bitcoin, XRP has significant real world current uses. Ripple technology is especially attractive to business because it enables the transfer and exchange of multiple currencies with fast transaction times and minimal electricity usage. Ripple technology is also designed to facilitate enterprise usage, including by banks and other financial intermediaries. Even more than Bitcoin, XRP has a fundamentally consumptive use, namely as an Jorge, welcome in. This document plus additional stock market Franklin Ripple adoption in Canada and all over. Yep, absolutely. So usage of the Ripple network requires that XRP be purchased to facilitate transfers of other currencies, not for investment with expectations of profits. At the time of the first sales and giveaways, the Ripple network was functional. Jose, indeed, watch, recycle, repeat. Not a venture to be developed with funding from proceeds of sale. The software was free and open source. This is where we get spicy, folks. Page 8 is what you're going to want to keep your ears open for. So after this, you're going to see exactly what you've been waiting for. And welcome in, everybody. Make sure you hit that like button, as I believe this is the most important document released to date for XRP since they were sued in 2020. And the disturbing part is this came out April 8th, 2019, and they've kept it under wraps until now. Darren, no problem. Appreciate it, mate. Yep, just watch this if you came in late and unpack this from the beginning. We've already went through 6 pages. But the 8th page is the most important part. So if you're watching right now, stick around to the 50 people in here now. Wow, really? Stick around for the 8th page. It's going to blow your mind. Participants could create wallets and purchase XRP and use it to conduct transactions in XRP or other currencies. XRP was not sold as an investment product to hold based upon its... Yes, I encourage you, if you're just catching it and you need to start over, stick around for page 8. I assure you, you are not going to be disappointed. It's going to tell you everything you've wanted to know. So based upon its potential future value, instead, as previously discussed, it was sold to market makers and financial institutions, the exact parties that stand to benefit from a digital asset that increases the efficiency of financial transactions. Good afternoon, Mark. Welcome in. Well, good morning here in the great state of Michigan. In fact, XRP and the Ripple network are currently used by established financial institutions to facilitate financial transactions, thus using XRP as it was designed to be consumed. Over 100 banks and financial institutions, including Santander, UniCredit, UBS, Standard Chartered, BBVA, and MUFG, have joined the Ripple network to facilitate faster payments and remittances. For example, Qolix, a Mexican payment processing and remittance firm, appears to be using XRP's XRapid solution, which is Ripple Labs' service to provide liquidity to banks or other institutions interested in cross-border transfers to facilitate cross-border transfers. These examples demonstrate that many XRP purchasers expect to consume it rather than profit from holding it. Again, this entire thing is a sham. Like everything you're reading in here, there is no reason XRP should be under any kind of indictment to be ruled as security. And just wait, this gets better in page 8. Like it really irritated me when I read this part in page 8. We're almost there. XRP is marketed and sold by Ripple Labs as a product to be consumed and expended through its use on the Ripple network and not as an investment with an expectation of profit. In fact, appreciation in the value of XRP decreases the utility of Ripple network. Did you hear that? In fact, appreciation in the value of XRP decreases the utility of the Ripple network for its users. That is almost a low blow. So if the price goes up, it's actually a bad thing. Based on our research, it does not appear that Ripple Labs marketed XRP as an investment for which purchasers could expect a profit. Unlike the tokens at issue in the Munchie order, Ripple Labs marketing materials, such as its white papers, focus on the technological aspects of the Ripple network and its potential use by finance professionals as a fast, inexpensive system for the transfer of value, as an alternative to other interbank transfer systems rather than any potential profit from the purchase of XRP. Thus, because Ripple Labs is not including purchases in XRP by emphasizing the possibility of profits, or offering profits from XRP in the form of capital appreciation or participation in earnings, XRP does not qualify as an investment contract. Like, how many more red flags in here are there that this thing needs to be thrown out ASAP? Wait till we get to page 8. The fact that XRP has been purchased by speculators with a profit motive should not alter its fundamental characteristics as a device for facilitate transactions over the Ripple network. So basically what that's saying is you got to take out all the people that are giving all the bullshit. You got to take away all the people that are fudding and hyping this up well beyond where it needs to go. This is a particular shot, I believe, at the social media influencers that are arbitrarily giving thousands of dollars in price value to XRP to the unsuspecting public. That is why I do what I do, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I give you the FUD-free technical analysis. That's why I don't do any kind of paid promotions. This has to be my own personal belief. And as long as I don't allow outside interests coming in to pay me to tell me what I need to say, like every other channel on YouTube, we get this information free. We get it clear. That's the importance of you joining Tom's Army so that I can... It's a crowdfunding. You guys crowdfund what I do. Let's just put it that way. You guys basically fund what I do, and I don't do any kind of paid promotions as my appreciation, which I could do thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars in, but there's no reason. Oh, no, Darren. There's going to be a better sentence. There will be that one. I could do a short with that, but wait till page 8. So, again, here we go again. The fact that XRP has been purchased by speculators with a profit motive should not alter its fundamental characteristics as a device to facilitate transactions over the Ripple network. Speculators may purchase XRP with the hope it increases in value due to its scarcity. These purchasers may be speculating that if the Ripple network sees an increase in usage, the limited maximum quantity of XRP could be below the level of demand, causing XRP to increase in value, even if that was not its developer's intent. This sort of purchase would be similar to a speculator purchasing a particular vintage of wine in the hope that it increases in value. The wine was not intended by the vineyard to be held as an investment, even if unrelated third parties, I'm assuming that says, determined to speculate on its future value. Now here, we get to the cream of the crop, and I'm going to cover up the very last part. Number 4, this is page 8 of 8, and this came out again April 8, 2019, which what it says at the bottom, why are we being dicked around like this for this many years, for 4 long years plus? Listen to this. XRP owners do not rely upon the entrepreneurial and managerial efforts of others. Although the speed of transactions, the number of participants, and other functionality of the Ripple network may be affected by continued development by Ripple Labs, holders and users of XRP are relying primarily on the collective activity of such holders and users to enhance the utility and liquidity of XRP on the Ripple network. 56 people watching, really. Thank you for unpacking this with me. I appreciate that. And 50 likes. Make sure you hit that like button. And only secondarily, if at all, on the entrepreneurial and managerial efforts of Ripple Labs or any other entity. Additionally, Ripple Labs also removed $55 billion of its own XRP from circulation, which reduced its control over XRP and further decentralized control over XRP. So remember what we talked about yesterday. It said that there was further exemptions for decentralized exchanges, or decentralized digital currency, I should say. This is telling you that they're further pushing decentralized over XRP. The XRP removed from circulation are held in cryptographically secured escrow, meaning the Ripple Labs is unable to remove the XRP from escrow and re-centralize control. Furthermore, Ripple Labs has indicated that it intends to increase the decentralization of the system over time by diversifying the validators participating on the Ripple network. As of December 2018, Ripple Labs controlled less than 30% of validator nodes on the Ripple network. Owners of XRP can, in this respect, be contrasted with purchasers of Munchie tokens, who were sold a token on the basis that Munchie and its agents would create the ecosystem that would increase the value of MUN, including through Munchie's specific efforts to cause appreciation in value. Now, ready, guys and gals? Good morning, Anthony. You tuned in at a perfect time. This is what is going to piss you all off. This is the very last thing. Ready? Ready? This came out when? April 8th, 2019. Based on the above analysis and the subject to the qualifications and assumptions set forth herein, we believe, as of the date of the memorandum, April 8th, 2019, mind you. Once again, based on the above analysis and subject to the qualifications and assumptions set forth herein, we believe as of the date of this memorandum that you have reasonable grounds to conclude that XRP does not satisfy all elements of the Howey analysis and is therefore not a security for purposes of the federal securities laws. So what the hell are we talking about with this case? If in 2019 it says that it does not meet the Howey analysis and is therefore not a security, what are we talking about, folks? This has been a 4-year witch hunt. Remember what I said back in 2020? Back in 2020, this was a fraud, and this was simply to give XRP clarification, and the first one to have clarity, whether it was by fraud or by design. Let me read this again. And remember, this came out April 8th, 2019, for fuck's sake. Based on the above analysis and subject to the qualifications and assumptions set forth herein, we believe as of the date of this memorandum that you have reasonable grounds to conclude that XRP does not satisfy all elements of the Howey test, or Howey analysis, and is therefore not a security for purposes of the federal securities laws. Like, what the hell? It's 2023, June 14th. This was decided on April 8th, 2019. And they kept it hidden just like they always do. Redacted, kept from the public, hidden for over 4 years. And it is all staged by design. So if anybody had any doubts, there's your evidence. If any of you ever were being slandered, if anybody was ever felt like they were being lied to, if anybody felt like you weren't getting the information, you weren't. This is the truth. This won't affect the price because you know how many people are reading this on YouTube today? Nada. Zero. Zilch. That's why I did this live. Just like yesterday. Everybody wanted the whole Howey test, all the pages, the stuff from the Hinman document. I was the only person throughout the entire day that went through that entire 13-page paper and debunked everything in it. Or we brought it to light. Other people might have done it now, but every single person who's a YouTube influencer on XRP during the cryptocurrency, this should have been the #1 priority, period. But I'll tell you right now, this doesn't meet the agenda. What came out yesterday doesn't meet the agenda. This doesn't meet the agenda. This, for anybody who's tuning in, this is all you should be reading. This is it right here. And I'm only going to read it one more time, and then I'm going to probably get done with this. I got to go to the gym. I want to hear any questions, though, that anybody has, any comments about this, because this is game changer. This is the news that now the SEC can't lie to us. Gary Gensler can't come on and say, hey, you know, this is what's going on. Can't do any of it. Any of it. To me, this is compelling because they had this evidence back on April 8th. I believe it was 2019. 2019, they had this information. So that is the first reason why you should join join Tom's Army and show me that support. Look in the video description below to see the rest of the reasons. So based on the above analysis and subject to the qualification assumptions set forth here, and we believe as of the date of this memorandum that you have reasonable grounds to conclude that XRP does not satisfy all elements of the Howey analysis and is therefore not a security for purposes of the federal securities laws. What the fuck? This is all known before the lawsuit in 2020. That is what we're getting at. This was open public knowledge. So let me get back to this so we can talk real quick. So basically, in conclusion, before XRP Ripple was ever sued and XRP was deemed a security, they already had this information. This is already on record. So is this fraud? Does this constitute some kind of finer legality that's going to end up happening? Some kind of legal precedent? Like, are you going to have a class action lawsuit now by Ripple or XRP holders that say that the value's been undermined by a false lawsuit when they already had the proper terminology? They already knew back in 2019 that it didn't satisfy the Howey test. This is why they redacted everything in that opening back in 2020. They redacted a lot of the stuff from these exact talks. And not just that, they hid it from the public. It makes perfect sense why they hid it from us now. They don't want us to see exactly what's going on. So again, the wool has been pulled over XRP holders. The corruption is brought forefront. I hope now everybody understands what I've been talking about since 2020. when I talk about this, and very particularly, now you guys got to see all my laundry, in 2020, but we've talked about this. This is not anything different than we thought. The only thing different now is now the SEC's on notice. Now Gary Gensler is on notice. Now that everybody has this open to them and everybody can see this, once the evidence comes out, there's no putting it back in the box. Why won't the judge make a judgment ASAP? If you ask me, Judge Therese must have some kind of dirt on her. This all known before suing Ripple. That is what irritates me. Marvin, it's a game with corruption, lining pockets. People stay patient. It's coming. Absolutely. So what will possess them to go after them other than giving Ethereum a leg up? Well, I mean, it bought, all this did, like I said, in 2020, it bought Bitcoin time, and Ethereum, I said, was going to get around this because it had a leg to stand on by utility. I don't believe Bitcoin in the end will have that same leg to stand on, but case over. That's why the email came out before judge. I hope so. That's what I'm thinking as well. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I really want to. I appreciate each and every one of you. This has been a stunning admission, what came out in 2019, back in April, saying that XRP already back then didn't meet the test for the Howey test to be ruled a security. And it said was not a security back in 2019. So, I mean, this has been a lot of nonsense, a lot of tomfoolery. But I will tell you this much. Anybody who's been ready, in the comments, a lot more people are talking about, oh, I'm done. Selling XRP. I'm done with this emotional bullshit. Even when good news comes out, it drops 10%. This is the point. Remember what we talked about years ago? This is the point. When it's time, nobody's going to be around in 2025. That's my personal anticipation. I believe most people will cut ties with XRP. And yet we're getting the information we wanted. Why is it so bad today? You notice in the comments, if you see that negative energy, save yourself. If you're watching this video after the live, save the negative connotation in the comments by saying, oh, XRP, we have no hope. Oh, XRP, it's done. It's always going to be. That's what they want. They want you to be emotion. They want you to be filled on emotion. Ready? We're not the victim here. You're part of the XRP community. You are not the victim. Remember? You are not the victim. The victims are the ones that don't get the knowledge properly. You're a victim if you watch the other fake social media influencers that won't tell you the truth. You're a victim if you allow yourself to be a victim. You're a victim if you believe XRP is going to $10,000 a token. You're a victim if you believe by the end of September XRP is going to be $7 or $10 or whatever the BS is going on. You're a victim if you think we're getting to 4 digits. You are a victim until XRP gets to $1 and you say it's going to $1. You can't just jump to 4 digits on XRP or 5 digits and expect it to be okay. You're never going to be satisfied with XRP. If it's at 35 cents and you buy it, it went up to 50 cents right now. So yeah, we're up like 30-something% still. But you know what? Even when it went up to 60 or 58, everybody was still saying, oh, XRP's trash. It's not at $10. You know why they're saying that? Because of all the social media influencers who have lied to you to make a simple dollar. The worst thing you can do ethically is make a simple dollar. So I do what I do. I don't charge for paid promotions. I tell you, if you want to support me, join Tom's Army to support my work. That's all I ask. Because I don't do any paid promotions. And the reason I don't do that is because I don't want controlled opposition in here. I don't want to have to put out information they're paying me to put out, period. Otherwise, I become the same BSers as everybody else on YouTube, and then you don't know where to get your information. I believe there's a reason why you all come here and watch this technical analysis. I believe there's a reason why you all come here to get the news, because you know I'm not going to fudge you. And look at me, I'm in a commercial now behind me. How awesome is this? But, I'm not doing that. So if you're here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Expect to get the truth and only the truth, because that's the only way it's going to happen. Renee, no problem. I appreciate keeping everybody informed. As you know, I'm about to exit. Just saying my goodbye right now. Giving you guys a little piece of advice on how to approach this mentally. Thank you, Tanya, so much. Tom Redding. TFAM better together. We sure are. Yep, the XRP hopium. It's not that you can't have hopium. It's just you've got to have the proper mindset. We can't just, we're going to $1,000 in a month. That's not going to do anybody any good. We're going to $50 next year. That's not going to do anybody any good. Not going to do anybody any good. So when I come on here, I do it from a positive angle. We do it spiritually. We're not doing it in the negative. We're not trying to banish anybody. But what I will say is we've got to get our minds right for this. Otherwise, a lot of people, and they already are, they're starting to break mentally. Everybody's starting to break mentally. Don't you find it ironic that everybody is starting to break mentally when we're finally starting to get the clarity that XRP is not a security? What are we doing? Even if it drops 50% from here, what are we talking about here? In 2021, when everybody wanted to buy this, after XRP, a year after, and it got to $1.66. Everybody's complaining about, I need to buy now. It's going to go to 1,000. I'm missing the boat. And what did I say? I sold everybody, liquidated at $1.66. We have 2-year wait to 2023, maybe 2024 or 5 before we can even start buying back in. We caught our break end of 2022. Got back in. Now XRP went up to 58 cents. Everybody, it gets rejected. Oh, it's over. It's done. XRP's a pile of horse shit. That's what they want you to think. Why do you think they pay all these social media influencers to tell you XRP is going to 4 and 5 digits? Why do you think they tell you that XRP is the only game in town? If you know anything about the ISO tokens, if you know anything about the Internet of Things, you know that that cannot be a truthful statement. XRP Ripple cannot control what it wants to do on the XRP ledger without other tokens utilizing it, period. XRP is the main game because it has the main technology. It is the starter of this whole big era. You even said in the document, you've seen when we read, prior to Bitcoin and Ethereum, this technology was available, which means it predates Bitcoin. That's what it said in the document. So ask yourself what the hell is really going on here? What is going on? I know what's going on. I think you actually know what's going on. The hype machine is at full blast. And the reason for that is because when the time is right, it even said inside of this document that I read in one of the 8 pages, XRP is not meant for the price to increase. It actually is a negative connotation, or it's actually a negativity for the XRP and how, or for the decentralization of XRP and how it is run. When the price goes up, it's actually a bad thing. So let me ask you a question. Why do you think you might have all these people that are on social media trying to lure you out of your hard-earned money and buying at the wrong spots where you could be easily liquidated? Why do you think so many people are pushing leverage trading now? The number one way to lose your XRP is the leverage trade. I don't care if you're 2x leverage trading or not. So like Renee said, we're close, but you got to keep it up here. You can't play the victim. If there's anything you learn from me, I don't play the victim. I come in here every day and I do my job. I have not missed a day since March 30th of 2021 when I started this program. Whether I've been sick, whether that's whatever the case may be, I'm here every single day so we can stay on the same page. It is up to you not to play the victim, as I do not. I don't play the victim, and I don't put my content out like we're victims in the XRP community. I believe here we're all winners. I believe here we all are setting a standard that if we do this properly in this time, in this part of history, and we don't let our emotions control it, we already did what we needed to do in 2021. Secured massive profits. We had We had 5 figures in profit. Low fives, 12 or 13,000. We're looking for 6 to 7 figures next time. But the point is we liquidated out and we bought back in 85 to 90% cheaper in 2022. Everybody can say, oh, well, it's going to go down 50%. From where? From where your 35-cent average? Good. Then we have 17.5 cents. Instead of buying 10,000 tokens in 2021, everybody forgets this. At the high, it cost $19,800 for just 10,000 tokens. Just 10,000 tokens. Now for 10,000 tokens, you're looking at, what, $5,000? When we bought it, it was 3,500. That's a huge difference. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. That's enough rambling. If you got anything out of this, make sure you hit that like button. Consider joining Tom's Army. That is the greatest gift of all, so I can continue pushing my content for free. The members of Tom's Army, you in particular, are the reason for this. You make sure I don't have to pay for paid advertising, and never have, never will. I don't do any kind of paid promotions. That's why when I release a video, whoops. Can you hear me now? Did it come back? I think I accidentally hit record on accident. Whoops. All right, we're back. Yep. Thank you guys for. So what I'm saying is, in conclusion, with XRP, we're starting to get everything we've ever wanted. We're getting the clarity. We're getting all the information that we've wanted. Now is the time where everybody's going to start backing out. This is where the disinformation campaign will start on YouTube. I'm telling you right now, you're going to start seeing more pages, and this is by design. They're controlled opposition. They're going to start telling you that there's no reason to own XRP, that it was a bad decision. I'm done after years of ownership. Start watching for those headlines on YouTube. I guarantee you when it's controlled opposition, now when the time is right, you're going to start to see everybody say crypto's at its worst stage possible. XRP's at its worst moment. It's never going to succeed. No, yeah, the Hinman documents were nothing. The Hinman documents were nothing. That was just what we knew. That's why today, this 8-page thing, this is what I wanted to see. There was only 2 things in the documents yesterday that I even took any stock of. One, that Gary Gensler called Vitalik Buterin before he even made the speech to make sure it fit into the agenda of him and it wouldn't alter Ethereum's runnings. And then the second was, if you're a decentralized exchange, if you have a decentralized digital asset, that it would be proper for it to be exempt from being considered part of the Howey test or being a security or being ruled a security as part of the Howey test. That came out yesterday in the document. So yes, Derek, the documents were, as some people want to have that negative connotation, want to say it was nothing, it was a nothing burger, you know, but it wasn't. The reason why it wasn't a nothing burger and it was not irrelevant is you now have the information. What did everybody bitch for 3 years? Just release the information and let us make the decision. Now we get the information, everybody says, oh, it was nothing. This is the bullshit. Not you in particular, Derek. I'm talking. This is what I speak of. We want something, we beg for it, we get it, but as a civilization, we say, oh, it's not good enough. You know what's not good enough? The positive mindset. You know what's not good enough? Everybody understanding exactly what's going on here. If you want to know what's going on, continue to follow. This is exactly what they did. They kept everybody's minds occupied, and what happened? They're passing all this stuff behind the back end. Everybody thinks crypto and digital assets are bad, but what's the U.S. government currently doing? Implementing FedNow, which what? You guessed it, runs on digital assets. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Get your mind right, stay positive, create a fine connection with the Lord, and make sure your spirituality is fine. Because without your spirit, we have no chance. With that, I'm going to leave everybody. I'm going to get into the update. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do a quick workout for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then I'm going to come home and we're going to get into the charts. But this morning I felt this was the most important thing. And I start out based on what I believe is the most important. The charts don't dictate everything. But in this case, the charts are going to dictate a whole hell of a lot. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Derek, appreciate that. And the DXY is dumping. We'll take a look at that as well. True, they kept everyone occupied in their eyes. We knew / know that wasn't going to impact anything. They don't realize we're sick and tired. Yep. And just like if you can get enough people that understand, if you get enough people that have the proper motivation, that's how you turn things. Real quick, a shout out to Faker, Bart Rager, Darren, Anthony. If I don't get to all of you, I apologize. Detroit Real. Well, it's obvious it is a legal, legit crypto. It absolutely is. Renee, Mark, Darren, JW, Anthony, Marvin, Tanya, Stevo, Asmac, Jose, Crawbillies. Thanks for sharing this with a friend as well. True, I appreciate you tuning in. Ajax, Derek Plaza, make sure you watch his technical analysis. It's going to be important today because he actually knows the truth. Derek, love the setup. But yeah, that's just my TV with so Samsung Live, you have to pay for Bloomberg, but it's included with Samsung TV, so you get Samsung Live. This is Bloomberg's channel, so they charge everybody, so I feel the need to use it in the background. And since I'm only using half the screen and it's technically my own, anyhow, that's why I do it. John Trowell, thank you so much. The Focus, thank you for tuning in. Everybody, I appreciate you from the bottom of the heart. Whoops. I love you a lot, but this is my time to go. And I will see you guys after I get back from the gym for an official XRP technical analysis. But this morning, this took center stage.